Hello, good yo-yo people. I'm Nate, and this is Let's Talk Yo-Yo. Today I am reviewing the Apathy by David McEvoy. This is my review of the Apathy, or whatever. This is the Apathy, which is a one-off from David McEvoy. So not a company, just a passionate yo-yoer collector, has quite an extensive collection. I was told not to say how large his collection was, as he might be threatened by his wife. Anyways, so I get that. I may have received a few of those threats before. I get it. So, anyways, this is the Apathy. And as a collector, David has played a lot of yo-yos. And it's interesting to see what kind of yo-yo, if you could put out one yo-yo and one design, what would he put out? And so that is the Apathy. This is a bimetal 7068 aluminum yo-yo. Really nice. I love that clear. I've been seeming to collect a lot of these clear with stainless steel bimetal yo-yos. I really like the look. It's very clean, it's classy, and I really like the look. The Apathy is currently being reviewed by a couple of my fellow YouTubers as well, and so I wanted to give a quick shout out to them because I think this yo-yo is definitely worth picking up. And I think it's worth promoting, but also promoting some of my fellow YouTubers. So check out their reviews of this yo-yo as they come out. I'll have a link in the description box as they come out. So Tom over at Throws and Brews, Michael Washington over at the Definitive Yo-Yo, and then Dylan Kowalski as well has one. So, so you get to see their take on it as well as mine. So here's my take on it. Let's talk about the design of it. I would say that the shape of this is sort of a hybrid between a V shape and an H shape. Got lots of weight rim. Of course, they have extra weight rim with that bimetal design. So you should expect a fairly stable, performance-driven yo-yo. Wide gap on there. Have quite a bit of a gap here between the actual friction of the string and all that. So it should keep the plane very well. Fairly deep bowls, and you kind of have, it's not necessarily like centering of a finger spin hub, but you do have a slight little dimple there, which you should be able to hit. Even if you don't hit dead center, you should be able to hit right around this corner here, which might be nice, especially if you're kind of popping it up and down and in between different tricks, so you're not just resting on a finger spin and just simply doing that as its own trick, but maybe kind of popping back and forth between a finger spin and some other horizontal, more advanced sort of play, something that I don't personally do, but it would be geared towards something like that, and I could see how it would do that. So we talked about the metal 7068, which is a really nice dense metal, similar to 7075, but a little bit cheaper, which is nice for, you know, the manufacturer and the buyer as well. So this yo-yo is coming in at a really decent price point as well, somewhere between that 50, 60, somewhere around that range. So for a bimetal, this is a great price point, and I don't really see anything wrong with this yo-yo. He could be charging a lot more, but he is passionate about it. And so this is one of the reasons why I wanted to promote this yo-yo, not only because I think it's a good yo-yo and I think it's a stellar playing yo-yo, which we'll talk about more, of course, when I play it, but you can't beat that price. And so if you don't have a bimetal out there, maybe this is your first one, because typically bimetals are a little bit more on the expensive side because, well, there's a lot that goes into it. I just love the idea of somebody who's just passionate like David is about yo-yo, loves yo-yo, and just wants to put something out there for the community to enjoy, and that he has just made his mark on the yo-yo world. And I think that's awesome, and I think that's exactly what the Apathy is attempting to do. So let's go ahead and play it. Let's talk a little bit more about how it plays on the string and so forth, okay? Welcome back to the On the String section. So what I'm going to start doing in these reviews is something that I haven't consistently done in every review. So there are a number of tricks that I'm going to be consistently throwing in every review now as they apply. Some won't apply, but I'm going to be throwing Eli hops, gyroscopic flop, grinds, just a finger grind, a thumb grind if it applies, if there's an IRG, a finger spin if it applies, or how well it might do, a simple banana turnover for any kind of horizontal type tricks, as well as just some general string wraps and also regens. And so I'm going to be showing all those in this review to try to be as impartial as possible. I think those are good tricks because those highlight the actual playability of the yo-yo, not like the string. And so those are classic tricks that the average yo-yo should know as well. And I think they determine things like the stability, the gap, as well as all those other things that you want in a yo-yo. So they can determine how well they do each of those tricks. So first thing we'll show you is just a grind, and we'll see how it plays for that. It'll test the finish as well as the stability of the yo-yo and the shape and all that. It should do really well considering how wide the gap is, and of course it's a bimetal, so it should be very stable. And the finish is great on this too, so hopefully we should do pretty good. Yeah, yeah, that's great. Great for grinds, great stability. Let's go ahead and throw an Eli hop here then next, and then that'll test just sort of the gap and how easy it is to hit. No problem. Wow. Yeah, you can do quite a few string wraps on there. Let's see how far we can go without it binding up on us. I probably could have done one more. Man, I really could see this yo-yo being really good for 3A players. Nice gap on there, nice and open, fairly performance-driven sort of gap on there. I'm also really not losing any binds on there, so the gap is just about quite where you want it for performance. So fantastic. Let's go ahead and check the stability. So here's another trick I'll be consistently throwing with just a sort of gyroscopic flop. Very consistent. Let's do a couple of regens. Yeah, really stable. You should expect that from a bimetal yo-yo because that's kind of one of the, one of the perks of a bimetal yo-yo. But man, the stability on this yo-yo is fantastic. So regens are really nice. Things like gyroscopic flop. Let's go ahead and do just a simple banana turnover to see what the stability and how it keeps its plane on something more like a horizontal type trick. Yeah, just what I thought. It really doesn't pull a lot of friction on the, you're going to really be able to keep the plane really nicely on horizontal tricks like that. The other trick I want to show, just testing rejection on this is just a simple magic drop, and no problem at all. Yeah, it's great. It's very performance driven, but it's also really comfortable in the hand, and so you're going to pretty much be able to throw almost anything at this. Let's go ahead and do a finger spin, see how that cup does for that. Not bad at all. Yeah, there's nothing I can really complain about this yo-yo. I think it's, he knocked it out of the park. I think David did a great job with the Apathy, which is kind of funny that it was just kind of like, whatever, that's the name. But it's not a whatever yo-yo. It's actually fantastic. You should definitely check out whenever he releases the full run of these. The Apathy is going to be fairly limited whenever it's released, so definitely jump on it. And it's going to be a great price point, and so it's going to go very fast. That's my prediction. I hope it does. Good luck to you, David. I think you've made a fantastic yo-yo. And so let's go ahead and throw just one of my tricks, and then we'll call it a day. Okay? That's going to do it for my review of the Apathy. Definitely check this out. Check out the other reviews on this as well from my fellow YouTubers. I'll have those in the description box. And that's going to do it. All right, as usual, good day and good yo-yo.